Welcome students. You know that in the first class of figures of speech, we had understood the classification of figures of speech. And in that, we understood that there are some figures of speech which are based on contrast. So today we will discuss some figures of speech which are based on contrast. So let us understand based on contrast. There are a number of figures of speech which are based on contrast. Today we will discuss at least two, which are antithesis, antithesis and oxymoron. Oxymoron. These two figures of speech, no doubt there are many other figures of speech which are based on contrast, but today we are going to firstly discuss these two. Oxymoron. Now, firstly, let us discuss oxymoron. In this figure of speech, what happens that we can say, as I have told you, these are based on contrast, so we can say it's a special type of antithesis. And in this, what happens that some contradictory or we can say opposite or contradictory qualities are expressed of the same thing. So how it happens, let us see. It's a special type of antithesis it's a special type of antithesis. Here two contradictory or opposite qualities are expressed of the same thing. These two contradictory qualities of the same thing are expressed in this figure of speech. You just see some examples. This is a true lie. His honor rooted in dishonor is to distill. Another example. There was a deafening silence at the bus station. See another example. They have a love-hate relationship Another example, there was fine mess there was fine mess in the room. Now let us understand what are these examples. As we have understood that oxymoron tells you two contradictory qualities of the same thing, and it's a special type of antithesis. Here contradictory means opposite qualities are expressed in the same thing. So here you just see this is a true lie. So these are opposite words, these are opposite meaning words put together. His honor rooted in dishonor. Generally these opposite meaning words will be put together. Okay, this is an exception. There was a deafening silence. Deafening and silence, these are opposite meaning words. They have a love-hate relationship. There was a fine mess. Mess, you know, mess means a lot of rubbish, and fine means everything is clear. So fine mess, these are opposite meaning words put together. So I hope you have understood what is oxymoron. Now we will understand what is antithesis. As I have already told you, oxymoron is a special type of antithesis. So obviously in antithesis also you will find some contrasting ideas, some contrasting clauses, some contrasting expressions, because these are the figures of speech which are based on contrast. So let us understand what is this. Antithesis. In this figure of speech, speech is striking opposition or contradictory ideas or sentiments are described in a single sentence. In antithesis, what we see that striking opposition or contradictory ideas or sentiments are expressed in a single sentence. Example: man proposes, God disposes. Speech is silver, silence golden. Many are called, few are chosen. Few are chosen. he got a jest. Jest means happiness, laughter. He got a jest. They got his estate. Estate, you know, it's a personal property. And now this is enough. So firstly understand, in this figure of speech, striking a position. One more example. Firstly, let me write one more example. Give your ear to many, but voice to a few. So here these are some examples of antithesis, and here opposite ideas are expressed. Opposite sentiments are expressed in a single sentence. So here you can see man proposes and God disposes. So these are two ideas which are contrasting, which are opposite to each other. Similarly, speech is silver. Speech is silver and silence golden. Silence golden, speech silver. Opposite ideas. Many are called, few are chosen. He got his jest. Jest means happiness. And they got his estate. Estate means property. Give your ear. Ear means you listen to everyone. You listen to everyone or to many people, but voice to a few. But give your voice to a few. Give your voice. Give your voice is understood here. Give your ear to many, but give your voice to a few. So here it is understood. So voice means you give advice to only a few persons, or you speak less and listen more. That is the idea. So here contradictory ideas, opposite ideas are expressed. That's why this figure of speech is called antithesis. So I hope you have understood it. Now we will move over to the next another important figure of speech, which is called hyperbole. So let us understand. Hyperbole, everybody understands what is hyperbole. In hyperbole, we exaggerate. We exaggerate about something. In hyperbole, what happens? That in a statement is made emphatic. Emphatic means powerful, effective. By some overstatement, by exaggerating the things, by boasting the things. In this figure of speech, a statement is made emphatic. Emphatic means impressive. Emphatic means impressive by overstatement. Overstatement means a statement is made emphatic. Emphatic means powerful, impressive By overstatement, overstatement roughly means exaggeration or boasting about. When it expresses exaggeration or boastness. When it expresses exaggeration or boastness, then this figure of speech, hyperbole, comes in the sentence. Hyperbole is indicated when there is exaggeration or boastness in the sentence. Now see some of the examples. Here is blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this hand, this little hand. This is a very famous statement made by Macbeth. This little hand. So in the Shakespearean play Macbeth, the main character Macbeth makes this dialogue. Here is blood still, all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. He is faster than wind. This bag weighs a ton. He is as tall as the house. This is the worst day of my life. Now let us understand these examples. Here is blood still, all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. So obviously there is exaggeration here, that all the perfumes of Arabia will not be able to remove the smell from the hand, smell of the blood from the hand. So there is exaggeration, boastness. He is faster than wind. Nobody can be faster than wind. Particularly we are talking about a person. So it's exaggeration. This bag weighs a ton. Ton means 10 quintals. So it's exaggeration. He is as tall as the house. Nobody can be as tall as house. Okay. So this is exaggeration. This is the worst day of my life. Worst means very bad. Okay. So this is also exaggeration. In this way, this figure of speech gets over. I hope you have understood. When there is too much exaggeration, then which figure of speech is indicated? Hyperbole. Now we will proceed to understand one more important figure of speech in this class, which is called euphemism. So let us understand. Euphemism. Euphemism actually helps us in telling some bad thing in some good way, or we can say it's a way of expressing some bad situation, some bad thing, some bad condition in a pleasant way, in an agreeable way. In this figure of speech, some disagreeable name is replaced by an agreeable name. In this figure of speech, some disagreeable or bad word is which can describe some bad situation is replaced by an agreeable name. So let us see the examples. He has passed away. He has passed away. It means died. He has passed away. This is a good way of saying that he died. It is a pleasant way, or we can say agreeable way of saying something bad thing. The death of somebody. He has kicked. He has kicked the bucket. Kicking the bucket means died. You are telling me a fairy tale. It means lie. If instead of saying that you are telling a lie that can hurt somebody, it's a diplomatic way of saying the same thing. You are telling me a fairy tale. So we can say euphemism helps you in talking diplomatically without hurting the sentiments of others. You can replace the disagreeable words by some agreeable words. See another example. He is the special child of his parents. It means handicapped. It means handicapped. He is the special child of his parents. Nowadays, for the handicapped people, there is a very good word that is used. They are specially abled. They are differently abled. Instead of saying that they are handicapped, we say they are differently abled or specially abled. So these are a few examples you can easily understand. He has passed away. This is a pleasant way of saying that somebody has died. He has kicked the bucket. This is another diplomatic way of saying telling about somebody's death. You are telling me a fairy tale. Instead of saying that you are telling a lie, you can say you are telling me a fairy tale. See one more example. He has fallen asleep. He has fallen asleep. He has fallen asleep. That means died. Normally you can't say he has fallen asleep. Okay? He has fallen asleep will come with some other sentences which will give the idea what you want to say. Okay? Because this one is more popular. If you say he has passed away, then everybody will understand, because passed away is a very famous word. Everybody knows pass away means died. But if you use other words like he has kicked the bucket, most of the people don't know that it means died. He has fallen asleep also, people will not be able to understand. So it should come in the context of some other words, other sentences also. Then only it can be acceptable. Similarly, you can use them while writing poems. If you are fond of writing poems, you can use such figure of speech. So that there it would be permissible. So I hope you have understood this figure of speech. So now the time of this class is over. We will meet in the next class and then we will understand some more figures of speech. And before I end the class, I want to remind you, if you are a new student, you subscribe the channel. If you are the regular student, then you recommend the channel to your friends. Simply keep watching and you wait and watch. You wait for the next video. You wait for some more important videos and recommend the channel to your friends. So thank you.